A little birdie told me that you want to get more kills in Fortnite Go 2. Well, to get more kills, you have to win more gunfights, and to win more gunfights, you have to watch this video. Now let's say you get into a perfect 50-50 fight. You swing an angle and your opponent swings the angle at the exact same time. Neither of you have an advantage. What determines the outcome of this fight? Aim and fundamentals. To get more kills, you need to dominate the basics. Now don't skip this part because I'm talking to you regardless of what rank you are or how comfortable you are with the fundamentals of Counter-Strike. If you look at any professional sport, what do the pros do? They dominate the basics. Kobe, how many free throws do you think he put up outside of games? Thousands, hundreds of thousands probably. American football, how many times do they practice just a simple handoff over and over and over again? Thousands of times. Counter strafing, crosshair placement, movement, the first 10 bullets of your spray, managing the economy. Outside of just aiming, these are the fundamentals that you can hone in on to get way more kills. Compared to every other mechanic, gimmick, whatever in CS2, these fundamentals will give you the greatest return in terms of getting frags, carrying your team than anything else. So if you don't feel like you have these things down and you want to get more kills and carry more games, then stop spending your time trying to learn 40 different smoke lineups, silent jump lineups, other more niche things, and spend the time to get this stuff truly locked in. My point is that if you don't dominate the fundamentals, then that is your easiest path to improving quicker and getting more kills. And the best part about it is that these are things that you will never stop working on. They don't have a ceiling. That's the beauty of Counter-Strike, is that there's no skill cap to these sort of things. So keep working on them. Always, 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 always do it now. Now I have videos for most of these topics, so I'll put them in the description. Some of them are CSGO, but everything still applies to CS2. Now let's talk about aim, because you need your aim to click on heads and also to click on the subscribe button down below. You need to warm up. Now, I don't know about you, but I don't play very well when I get on my computer and jump straight into a game. The key here is to be mindful of your warm-up and what you're actually doing here, because bad habits in your warm-up are going to carry over into your games. For example, I find that when I'm stiff and I'm not playing well, it's often because I'm over-relying on my arm to aim rather than my wrist. Now, depending on your sensitivity, because if you have a really high sensitivity, then this doesn't really apply because you only use your wrist, but for most people, for normal people, you use your arm for large adjustments, for large motions. So if I'm getting shot from the back, right, I need to make a 180-degree turn. I can't use my wrist for that. I'm gonna have to use my arm. But then I'm gonna have to actually put my crosshair on his head. And now aiming with your arm is doable. It's just not very accurate. It's not good for those micro adjustments, right? That's what you use your wrist for. So if I swing, I use my arm, and then I'm within the range of my wrist aim now, right? I can go anywhere here with my wrist, and then I'm gonna adjust with my wrist. So separating those two, your arm aim and your wrist aim, for me is super important in warm-up, because I'll fall into the habit of getting stiff, tensing up, and trying to aim with my arm, and then I have bad games and I feel yucky, bad, gross. I don't get many kills. So to fix this in my warm-up, I'll only use my wrist for the first, I don't know how many kills. I never count kills. I'll use my wrist for the first like 5 minutes, maybe less than that. Just trying to be 100% accurate. I'm not moving my arm at all. This is purely to train my brain that these sort of adjustments are for my wrist only. My arm should have no action in these shots, right? And then if I ran out of bots, I'm gonna use my arm. Okay, boom. Wrist time now, right? And then after that, I'm just trying to warm up, right? I'm not doing like a full aim training routine. So I'll just strafe around, go for taps. Always, 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 I'll be moving. Aside from that wrist thing in the beginning, after that, I'm moving. I hate practices where you're standing still, you're only aiming, because in Counter-Strike, the vast majority of fights you're taking, you're not going to be standing still, especially in CS2 where Peeker's advantage is so good. Even as a CT, you should be trying to take fights as you're moving. So this is your chance to move around and always, always, always be counter-strafing, right? If you let your counter-strafing be sloppy in your warm-up, it's going to be sloppy in your games. So keep a focus on your counter strafing here and on your arm versus wrist aim. Aside from that, another tip here for warm up is in the fundamentals, I mentioned your spray and the first 10 bullets of your spray. Just spray against a wall. Like, you don't have to make it complicated. Just practice the first like 10 bullets of your spray. Try to keep all of the bullets under your first bullet, right? So if my first bullet is here, I want all of the rest of the bullets to be under it, because I don't want to spray that goes above my first bullet. Once you've shot against some walls, now it's time to just practice your bursts against their body. You're not gonna jump into a game and one tap every single person you see. The vast majority of your kills are gonna be sprays and bursts, so why not practice them? Get comfortable with them. You don't need to only go for one taps and warm up. Of course, it's also good to warm up with other guns as well. I'll do some A1, I'll do some A4, I'll do some deagling, and then I'll also op quite a bit in warm up. Counter strafing while you're opping is super important and trickier than counter strafing with normal guns. So I just like to jump around, flick around, just get loose, just get comfy. Here's a drill in DM that's benefited me a lot. I'll do about 5 minutes of DM where I only go for one taps and I rely a lot on my movement. Stay moving, avoid crouching, and just try to tap people away. This is super helpful for two big reasons, and you should be mindful of these reasons while you're doing the drill. Number one, you're training yourself to not panic. Panic spraying is and always has been a huge problem for me, but doing this drill in DM has really helped me kind of train out that sense of panic that I fear, where I see somebody on my screen and I feel like they're gonna immediately one tap me, and if I don't kill them in 0.02 seconds, then they're gonna kill me. You have more time than you think, and you can prove it by jumping into DM and just moving around and only going for one tap. So it trains your brain into realizing, like, in a lot of situations you have more time than you think and you can actually aim at them and you don't have to panic. What you're also doing is you're training yourself to not overcommit and to use your movement with your aim. You ever see somebody on your screen immediately crouch, start spraying way too early, and then commit to a god-awful spray just to die after like 3 seconds of spraying? Why am I even asking? Of course you have, everybody has, I've done it 1,000 times. So avoid the crouch button, use your movement, just go for little one taps. It's a great drill. Do it. CS2 is peeker's advantage heaven. What that means is that you need to peek more, and so do I. So let's say, for example, I'm a CT playing towards stairs. My A site guy dies, and the T's are coming out of ramp fast. Now they don't have a smoke down jungle, instead they're gonna swing it. So I could stand here and wait for somebody to swing me, or I can do what's called a counter swing, where I know somebody's about to swing out against me, and what I'm gonna do is swing against them. It's really good for two big reasons. Number one, you're taking their advantage away as the peeker, right? Peeker's advantage is good. If you peek them as they peek you, that advantage is gone. And also, you're gonna screw up their crosshair placement, right? So they're gonna peek jungle here, maybe con, and then they're gonna peek here. But if you're swinging across, it's not something that they're gonna fully expect, and they're gonna have to adjust their crosshair, while you have your crosshair ready for them to swing. So, counter swing. Do it more, a lot more. It's really good now. One thing that I see a ton is that people play way too passive. It drives me crazy. I'll watch demos and people are really passive. They like to lurk, they don't like to entry, they don't like to take fights, but then at the same time they want to get more kills. If you want to get more kills, you gotta take more fights, and you need that confidence that comes from the fundamentals, right? If you feel like you have those down and you have that confidence in your fundamentals, you're going to be much more willing to take more fights, hence getting you more kills. Try different things, contest space, go for more fights. That's where you're going to get more kills. It's also going to give you much more impact into the game. Playing a slower, more passive, lurky kind of playstyle, you're relying on your team to open the round up for you. Take control of the game, play more aggressive, go for more fights, and you're going to improve way faster too. Now, a lot of people really overthink flashes. They consume these flash guides, these pop flash lineups, and they try to memorize them. But in reality, the vast majority of flash kills you're going to get are just ones you're going to throw on the fly. So I'm going to give you a few ways you can throw flashes in really easy and effective methods. The first one is just banking a flash off of a wall and swinging with it. Like, let's say, for example, people are coming up, cat, just bounce a flash off and swing. Boom. Now, maybe this blinds them. Maybe this doesn't, you know, maybe they turn it. But regardless of if it blinds them or not, it just makes the fight harder for them. They both have to focus on you swinging. Are you going to swing before the flash pops? Are you going to swing after the flash pops? Forces them to make that decision. And that in of itself just gives you an inherent advantage in the fight because you're making the fight more complicated for them. And these just work like everywhere. You know, if I'm CT and they're coming out apps, maybe they drop down, bounce one there, boom, swing. If I'm a T towards Tetris and maybe they're pushing me, just bounce one off, boom, I'm swinging. Just use walls to boink, get that flash over you and swing in front of it. It's so effective, so easy. Jump into practice maps and just see where you can use this because it's going to surprise you how much you can use this type of flash. Another type of flash that's going to get you a ton of kills and I think is criminally underutilized is a left and right click flash. Now these are great for many different things. Number one, they're great for pushing with. So if I'm a CT and I'm pushing up mid, I can left and right click, throw it to the top right of me, and swing with it. Look at that, John. It's beautiful. It's perfect. They can turn it, but I'm swinging in front of it. So even if they turn it, their backs are turned towards me. Easy kills. Another great use of the left and right click flash is that if you're stuck somewhere, right? So let's say the T's are out ramp, I'm stuck triple. I can self flash myself really easily with it. Just left and right click above me. Toss that, John. Boom, swing off of it. Right? If I just left click that, it would go way higher and it wouldn't blind people for nearly as long. So I see a lot of people kind of panic when they have a flash, but they don't know what to do with it. That maybe they're stuck somewhere. Just left and right click one above you and slightly behind you and swing off of it. It's a great, easy self flash. And you don't even have to be stuck somewhere. Let's say I'm jungle, people are coming out ramp, I want to swing them. Left and right click to the tree. Boom. My last thing about flashes is buy them. So many people don't buy util. Buy util, please. It's the only way you're going to get better at using your util is by buying it and figuring out how to use it just on the fly. You need to be taking meaningful little breaks in between every couple of games if you're on a grind. Get up, do a little stretch, maybe go outside, get a little bit of air, drink some water, come back feeling refreshed, and do a little warm up. I don't know why it took me so long to realize, but if you're playing for a long time, doing warm ups in between games is huge because I'll get kind of stiff and out of sync and not feeling good after I play long enough. And doing a little warm up, just jumping into aimbots, 10 minutes, 5 minutes, whatever, it kind of resets me. It gets me feeling good again. Counter-Strike requires a lot of mental energy to play, especially if you're really invested into the game, which I'm guessing you are because you're watching this goober on the internet talk to you about the game. You're gonna get way more kills if you just take little breaks and let yourself reset after games. If you want more videos that are gonna get you more and more kills, you should subscribe. Please subscribe, helps me out. Like the video, leave a comment. What do you do to get more kills? What piece of advice would you give somebody who's asking this question? Have a great day. Thank you so much for watching. And of course, a huge shout out to my members, my channel members. I love them so much. Please consider becoming a member. I stream every Saturday and Sunday here on YouTube, so you should drop in and say hi and you can ask me a question, whatever. It's a great time. Have a great day. Good luck, have fun in all your future games.